It's Tim and Eric. Welcome back to another episode of Bivy Brink, which is a collaborative podcast recap from A Who All Gonna Be There and Silent Podcast as we talk about the show The Summit on CBS. As always, Eric, how you feeling? How you doing?
I am doing great. I got back from my trip to LA for my birthday. It was amazing. Shout out to Patty and Theron personally because I got to meet them, which is wild, right? Because I didn't go thinking I was gonna meet them, and I turned around. I'm like, "Hold on, is that Pat?" I called her like I knew her. I said, "Patty, is that you?" Like we've been friends for 15 years. Patty, is that you? And she turned around, and then Theron whips around. And so it was great meeting them. They are lovely individuals.
That sounds like a blast. Like it really does. Being able to just meet the folks that we talk about here on this episode, like
and
seeing them on the mountain. We're gonna get into it because they definitely is on my hit list. I got beef. We love everybody though, but in terms of this game,
I got
something to settle. We got some beef. So today, for the folks that's listening, I got on this jacket. I got my beanie on, because I'm ready to go on this mountain back in time to settle the score on behalf of Jeff and maybe on behalf of Sweater too,
No, we're going to leave her like it.
Okay, you're right. Shout out Sweater though. Shout out Sweater. So I think a good place for us to like just dive into the snow on this mountain is episode 2. Specifically, I think one of the big things that stood out to me in this episode is these people get a chance to bathe / shower.
Yeah.
Theron said it best. Where Theron was like,
I know my booty.
It was like, I know my booty. And I'm just like, they really are on this mountain doing all this climbing, all this hiking with no access to like a shower. Like nothing. I could be wrong. They could.
Was that a bar of soap in his hand? There was something white in his hand. It looked like I don't know if that was soap or just something else.
I don't know. I thought it was soap. Maybe it was soap. Maybe they get soap at the checkpoints and a little running shower. Hopefully so.
Because they get toothpaste. Because I seen Jeff brushing his teeth at one point.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Well, it's probably like one of the pluses to like get into a checkpoint, which makes sense, and that's even more of a motivator because if I'm not the first one in line and I'm behind somebody and you're like Theron, self-proclaimed in your booty stink, it's like, okay, I'm gonna want to get to this checkpoint too. I'm gonna want to vote some people on this helicopter too.
Yes.
If I'm in this spot.
We got to get clean, baby. We can't be out here just willing. I know we in the wilderness, but dang, we got to have some type of, decorum out here.
Okay. Decorum and deodorant. Both of those.
Man,
the episode, it starts off with like Janine voting for Rose in the last episode, and Amy pretty much confronts her and is upset with her, as she should. And it's like, I thought that was our good sis. Like you really voted her out. Like
you fell to the peer pressure. Like, and she's like, I just didn't want to be on the wrong side of the vote. Even if you was gonna be on the wrong side of the vote, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And you know your game best, right? Personally, if my best friend's life is on the line, I don't care where the votes say they going. If my best friend's on, I'm not voting my friend out. I just can't do it. And I know I hate to keep bringing Big Brother and stuff into it, but it just reminds me of like in season 20 when they were like, oh, we don't have enough votes to keep Bailey, so they just voted her out anyway. And Sam flipped the vote. And if they would have just voted to keep Bailey, Bailey would have stayed.
No.
Like you've always vote for your ally. I don't care if the whole house is gonna be mad. That's your friend. Why wouldn't you not vote to keep your friend?
Exactly. And it's like you never know until all them hands are raised where the vote going. It's like don't hesitate to be like, okay, I'm not voting for this person or I am voting for this person because it's like you're gonna wait, and one time they're gonna get you because
they're gonna get her too.
You're gonna wait, and then they're gonna call your name, and then it's gonna be you out of this game.
And she will be. They played her like a dummy in episode 3. Sorry, Jenny. It just is what it is. They played you, and now you done gave this group of people. We're gonna get to it. Woo, we're gonna get to it. Episode 3 because blood pressure.
Right. So okay, to fast forward. So episode 3, we know it's Jeff, but episode 2, I got a little note. So Jeff, we get a little background package from Jeff, right?
Yeah, we do.
It's like, I love Jeff as a leader. You know, he got the intelligence.
Yeah.
He black man with a
Yeah.
PhD.
Come on.
He's like been in school since he was 5. I'm like, that's me. I'm in a PhD. I've been in school. I'm
Yes.
ready to get out of school. You know, so it just felt good seeing like that kind of representation
Yeah.
and just like him be so charismatic and be a leader. But that kind of also makes him a target too at the same time.
But Tim,
You know?
that conversation coming up does not make sense to me. Did it make sense to you coming up? Oh well, he's too much of a leader. He's too physically this. He's too light. He can't be here. Okay, so if y'all get rid of him, who's gonna help y'all accomplish some of these harder tasks?
Especially so early on.
Literally, this is our third vote or second vote. Oh, wait, what is this? Second vote. We ain't even got another vote.
And Jeff's name is out there already.
And y'all talking about somebody that's a leader and okay, Rob out here like he, leading the good troops.
Yapping, yapping the good yap,
Come on, Boy Scout, Eagle Scout leader, troop leader, and he's not a target. Dusty is also just as physically capable, if not more than Jeff. Why is he not a target?
Let's talk about it. No, for real though, because it's like
I hate to be the one. I always try to give.
You know what I'm saying? I think but all that regardless is like, it's like even if I'm watching this show and I want to follow Jeff as a leader, a lot of people want to follow Jeff as a leader. Yeah. But the thing is, it's too soon in my opinion.
Too soon.
See if it's like you got 2 more checkpoints and it's like, well, either I'm finna get voted out of this checkpoint or it's Jeff. Let me try to make it Jeff. It's like, but to do it so early on, especially after he's somebody who straight up just went across this helicopter after the mound keeper almost chopped him into pieces off of this mountain. We're gonna get into that too. It's like, and then you're gonna vote him out?
So many layers, Tim. So many layers. And I just got, and you know what? But shout out because the conversation started with Dennis. So Dennis started talking to Becky, Assistant Becky. That's her name. Dennis the Menace started talking to Assistant Becky. And, I trusted Jeff into that vote. Okay, he wanted to vote out Bo. Okay, that's what he wanted to do. He don't have to do what you want to do, Dennis the Menace. And so they was like, so he might need to go. He wanted the physical threats. And shout out to our girl Pumpkin. Because Pumpkin went over there and she let him know as what you cannot trust Dennis. He got your name in his mouth. He's a snake. That's how you're supposed to be. That's on code.
She's real for that.
Code.
And it is. And it's like, she's so real for that. Pumpkin was one of my favorites, episode 1, where she was like, somebody was like, oh, where did you meet your husband? She was like, wife. And I'm like, period. That's
it was Dennis the Menace. Where'd you meet him? She said her. Period.
So she already was clearing him. It's always Dennis. It's always Dennis. We love to hate him. We love to hate him, but in the show, he definitely is like one of the villains. But we had another villain, I think, who definitely maybe went out too soon. I feel like she played a little too early. Yeah. You already know who I'm talking about.
Miss Sweater.
Sweater weather. What's your thoughts on Sweater's game? How you feel about her game?
In the beginning, I was a fan of it because I'm all for people playing for themselves. I gotta put me first every single time.
Okay.
However, you can't let the other people know that. So her downfall clearly, because somebody brought it up. I believe it was it's not Jeannie, but it's the other one that got the same similar name. I don't know if it's pronounced differently, but the other Jeannie, whatever her name is, the one who does Taekwondo and all that stuff like that. I think she's the one who brought up how Sweater was kind of not caring about Tony falling out and just was worried about the thing. You keep those thoughts to yourself, sister. You don't say that out loud. You use that for your confessionals. Come about, he just needs to get a little drink of water. Say that for your confessionals. I'm gonna be in my confessionals all the time. Like, oh, he faking it. She fake. She can get up that thing. She just wants some sympathy. But in the group, we got this. Come on, push through. Okay. We gonna make it. We together. Kumbaya. That's what you're supposed to do. But without any reality TV experience, not that I've been on TV yet, but just how we watch these shows. So I feel like you would know how to do it too. Like you keep those inner thoughts inside and don't let the other people know.
I agree. It's like, especially if people are saying, "Oh, our conversations haven't been quote unquote genuine," or like, "Oh, I feel like you're just trying to play the game, or you're always trying to strategize." It's like, yes, that's a part of the game, but it's a people's game first. And all of these social strategy games, the first word in that phrase, social. So you got to have some kind of social capital with these people. I think Sweta had a great mindset, a great strategy, but I think implementing it too soon is part of her downfall. I think like it made sense to say, okay, Jeff, like is somebody that's going to be a problem later on down the road. Sure. But like to run the vote, the very first vote probably didn't help her. And like having the map, I think it was smart that she like passed the map off to Jeff that time and like tried to take a step back. But I think at that point, you have to build that like social capital too, as part of it. But shout out Sweta, like they really treated her like a jacket. But she came in there ready to be a bubble coat, and I would honestly say if it's a summit season 2, season 3, and they bring people back to try to reach the summit again, I could see Sweta coming back because I feel like it was so much potential there. And some good confessionals, and I feel like give her another run. Yeah, give her another run, and let's see what happens.
Because they gotta bring Tony back. You gotta. So we'll see, Miss Sweta. She wanted to be a Parker, but ended up being a windbreaker. So
okay, or a mountain breaker. That mountain broke a couple players this time around. But lastly, I think for me, in terms of episode 2, that like something that stands out to me is that like outside of me versus Jeff, even I would want to choose Jeff and like vote myself out. Is like people who are playing the middle, I think were playing it good. Of course, like we see Bo get axed literally and fall off the mountain.
My heart was the tears when Patty was like, "Come on over, baby," and he's like, "I'm coming to my best friend." Tim, I think I might have shed a tear.
Yes.
And inside scoop. So when I was talking to Patty and Theron about this scene, I was like, y'all, I don't think it's been a minute since I've been viscerally impacted by something on TV like that. I just felt for him. And they were like, yo, they left him hanging there. And we just sat there and had to watch him just sit there and hang. Yes, they let poor Bo hang for his life in the middle of the air forever. Yes.
Oh my God. Like, even again, I felt that emotion too in that scene because I'm just like, oh my God, it's like when Bo was like, "I'll see y'all on the other side." I'm like, no, the other side is heaven, the summit heaven specifically.
Right.
The summit heaven. I'm just like, no,
it was Bo. So insidious that they had to call him. Why they had to call him? Oh, that was evil.
Why Patty had to do it?
Because it's the last person over. So that's why she had to, because she was whoever is before you is the one who has to call the next person. And so they made
even
that.
Still, even still, just like get somebody else to do it. Like I know I actually have to do it, but it's just like,
please,
Oh,
that was devastating to watch.
Truly.
And I just like to point out that Mr. I can carry 2 planks. Couldn't even do the one he had. Dennis.
Did I say that out loud? It's 2 planks in my hand. I can carry both of them. You know what? I can carry 3. And you know how many planks that eventually got across there?
Just that
one plank. That one plank. He ate that one thing literally.
I thought that one fell off. Shoot.
You're right.
So,
but hey, he's more valuable than Jeff.
Clearly, to them for whatever reason. Wonder what that could be, but I don't know. I'm gonna be throwing shade all night for this Jeff
As
vote.
as we should, as we should. I think a lot of people. I'm gonna still keep watching that. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of people definitely feel this Jeff vote. Right before we get into 3 from this challenge, of course, like Jeff is the person who goes first, and then we see the Moundskeeper come right on the side. Is Jeff in the middle of this
Came out of
rope
nowhere.
bridge out of nowhere, and I'm like, this helicopter is getting a little too close for comfort. I'm like,
Listen,
I know we got to eliminate people, but that don't mean
kill me.
terminate people, okay? Because like I didn't know if it was Rose flying the helicopter, she getting her revenge on like all the people that was trying to vote her out. But I'm like, listen, if he can stay on that rope while a helicopter is right beside him,
because the wind from the helicopter's propellers too on top of the blades, I'd be like, dang, but the wind from that too.
Terrifying. Terrifying. Another little last funny moment was when Rob was rooting on Sweater. And Sweater was just like, I'm gonna need you to be quiet. It's like, Rob, just let me do it. And it's like
that happened in episode 3 too with Pumpkin. He was like, you guys should I need you to be quiet. But he not a threat. Okay. But he not a okay.
But episode 3, child.
Woo,
Ciao.
I need a drink on that one.
Okay. Take your sip of water, because that's exactly what the team wanted Patty and Amy to do when they decided to vote for them to get a fast forward, basically, and go straight to the checkpoint while everybody else gets the chance to continue up the hike at the cost of food.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they get like granola bars and stuff like that, but I'm going to be tired of granola bars.
Right.
First time you gave me steak, you gave me margaritas,
right?
Wine. I'm gonna want
now. All I get is trail mix. Are you kidding me?
Okay, it's like I could go find a trail mix on the trail up this mountain. I can get some grass.
It's ridiculous. So I understand being hungry and being upset. So that's why I really don't fault once again, because they had to they voted like who wants food. Pumpkin and Jeff raised their hand. They rather have taken food versus sending Patty and Amy up on the helicopter to get to the next Bivy Brink or Bivy camp. Sorry. And so I'm like, I understand. I'm hungry. That's what I want to do. Just because I want to do something, that's what they're not understanding. Just because I would rather vote this way, it doesn't take away anything else from nobody. So even if you had it voted for the food, whatever, okay, you hungry. I get it. Food is a priority to you. You feel like they can make it, whatever it is. Why am I holding that against you? I wouldn't.
And something, I wouldn't either. And something I think was smart strategically was like Amy was like, okay, let's just get this clear. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yes, Amy.
I'm not gonna let y'all. Okay, she's like, I'm not gonna let y'all say that I'm weak or I'm the weakest. I'm gonna just put it at the front and be like, hey, I'm gonna control this narrative. It's like, okay, I appreciate y'all patience versus like, oh, thank y'all for waiting on me. I'm so slow. It's like, no, like, okay, y'all think I'm one of the people that's behind. So I'm going to say, hey, I'm a volunteer for this helicopter ride. If it is going to be anybody, I'm going to let it be me. And I'm going to let y'all see this as me volunteering as something that's valiant versus like, okay, y'all forcing me to do this.
Right. We need to let this weak little woman, Patty, they can't get up the mountain. And then a little bit what she's really saying is, I want to see y'all make it on time. Since y'all say we slowing y'all down, well, we fit to get on this helicopter ride. Let's see how y'all do. Since we not here to, hold y'all back. So let's see how y'all doing. And but I also like the fact too that she was a little, she has some sense. I love Amy. Amy is so precious. I do too. And her story once again nearly ripped my heart out of my chest. This episode, but when she said, hold on, we so quick to volunteer people to go up there. What if we got to vote and we the only 2 people eligible to get voted out? If they say that's some Big Brother Survivor type of twist right there.
Okay. She's smart. Listen. She already was like this.
Nick,
listen.
I'm all right. Y'all go ahead and lead it. I would volunteer to carry something up.
You could throw something on me, yeah.
So, she already was like, okay, earlier you made me get on this helicopter, and I already was smart enough to think, okay, well, if y'all put me on this helicopter, me and Patty, then we're gonna be the targets. So Amy is playing this game.
She's playing the game.
I hope they don't be fooled by this, but Amy is playing this game, whether they are aware or they're not aware, for sure.
And with that clip, I'm glad you played it, because after they did take the helicopter ride, the team did eventually arrive to the Bivy camp or whatever. And Amy was like, girl, we got to do something. Patty, girl, we're going to have to do something to contribute, because we don't got time for them talking about, oh, we let them get a free ride and now we hungry, because hunger does change folks, right? And so that clip you just played, the next challenge, they have to climb this little moving ladder in the wind. And in order to bring their bags, they had to also carry pulley equipment to get it up there. And Patty and Amy jumped up like, hey, y'all let us get carried on a helicopter yesterday. Let us do our part. So hey, look, I'm with her. I don't want it to ever be said I ain't doing my part.
Okay.
So even if I'm in the back, just remember, I carried this stuff up to the top. Right, I carried the pulley system when none of y'all was talking about, I can't do it. Oh, that's gonna be too hard. I did it. Patty did it. Right. So I was super elated to see them try. I was scared for a moment because she was crying. That baby wasn't even 2 feet off the ground, hardly. And she like, oh, about to fall. Like, Amy, if you don't hold on to these bars, girl, I promise you, hold on. And then they cut to her story. And
tell us about it.
My heart just breaks once more. And it's just a true testament to her resiliency. This woman woke up, but she got a call to identify her father's body on her wedding day. The morning of her wedding, she went to go identify his body, and still went on with the wedding, because she like, I know that's what he would have wanted. And he was a single dad. He raised them, and he instilled with her, don't give up a can-do attitude. That's what she said. And her getting up this mountain was to honor him and what he did for her, and to prove that she can do it, because that's just who she is because of him. And I am in awe of her, truly in awe of Amy. Like, I know we talked about her last episode and how amazing she was with taking in her daughters.
Rightfully so.
Like, this woman, she is a superwoman.
Yes. Like, that story hit me deep, because it's like, okay, I'm thinking about the game. I'm like, okay, she volunteered. Like, okay, that's bravery. That's awareness. That's courage. And then we get the story, and I'm like, Amy is a fighter. Like, Amy has so much resilience in her life. Like, mad respect for her. Like, I don't even know Amy. Just being a viewer and seeing like her not give up, and her continue to fight, and her having lived through so much, experienced so much, and still be the kind person that she is, to where later in the episode we see she didn't vote for Jeff. Everybody else, except for Pumpkin, voted for Jeff, and it's like, to stick by that and to continue to show your heart in these games and still be a good player too. Like, wow. Like, I honestly can't say nothing else. I'm just like, wow.
Amy, she's a star. She truly is. And I'm so glad that we get to see her. She's a gift to the summit, truly. We need if y'all listening, CBS, Paramount, whoever, we need to see her on Big Brother, Survivor. We need to see her on something else.
Okay.
Because, listen, the women over 40, 50, they have been giving us everything we have asked for in reality television this year and last year. Like, we had Felicia last year on Big Brother. We had, Carolyn on Survivor, and we had, we had Sari as well last year. And then this season we had Angela providing on Big Brother.
We got Sue
on Survivor. Come on.
And now we got Amy on the summit.
Now we got Amy on a legend.
Another one. Thank you.
Another one. Thank you. But yeah, can't say enough great things about Amy. Love her, love her, love her. And she made it up there. Let me just tell you, she made it up there with the pulley.
With that equipment.
Yep.
Period.
And so did Patty. Patty did it too.
Mm-hmm.
She did.
I think there's another star. Well, if the sun is a star and that's Amy, I think we got to go to the opposite, which is the moon, aka specifically, Eric. There's this one scene that really cemented in my mind. Oh, Dennis is a villain, like quote unquote. He's
the
playing
dark side of the moon.
Okay, let's hear me out real quick. Listen to this.
People don't know this, but I can cry on command.
The money would mean a lot to me. Even to quit my job and see a lot of my family I haven't seen in Korea.
Oh my God.
I wasn't buying it. I knew he was lying. I know it's easier said than done. I knew he was, before he even had his confession, I said, them tears is funny.
Listen, I didn't know at first. I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, well, Dennis is definitely telling the truth. Like, he's being vulnerable. I'm so proud of him being able to share. And then the sharp cut, oh, I can cry on command. I was lying. And you hear the villain music. I'm like, I've been bamboozled.
Fooled you.
Fooled me.
He would have had you up off that mountain in a heartbeat.
Listen, you my pumpkin. Call me Jeff, because you gonna tell me. Somebody gonna let me know.
No, and I would have made sure, because I knew he was faking. Because you talking about you can't see. I got too many friends and family members who are nurses. You can make time.
Mm-hmm.
You make enough to take, save up, and you can take your time off. You chose to work, so that's why I'm like, that story can't even be real. You can go. You get travel and vacation days. You take time off. Like, you can go back to Korea anytime you want to. You just choosing not to. During the pandemic, I understand that. 2020, 2021, I understand. Maybe 2022. But what about 23 and 24? We done had 2 whole years since we didn't got back to normalcy, quote unquote. Ain't no excuse. You could have went back. So that's why I wasn't buying it. And it was a lie. So I don't even feel bad.
Yeah, and I feel like it seemed like some people bought it, some people didn't buy it. But I do find that Dennis's strategy of, scheming and conniving, while it isn't super secretive or he isn't necessarily getting away with everything, it still feels like he has a lot of tools in his toolbox for playing a game like that. Like, crying on command, that's a great skill to have in like a social strategy game like this. And, planting seeds in people's mind and, throwing ideas out there are good. Do I like it? No. Did it work out for him? Unfortunately.
But you mentioned something really good. It's not even hidden. He's not even doing this secretly. They have literally, Nick and Becky have both said who he's really close with pulled this move off. Mm-hmm. They don't even trust him. They know he a snake. Mm-hmm. He's greasy as oil. Like, we know he cannot be trusted. Mm-hmm. But that's the one you want to keep in the game?
Child, if Dennis is the snake, that must mean Becky Lee is the mole. Because
she's the mole.
Becky Lee, listen, I thought Sweater was cutthroat. Becky Lee is cutthroat.
Assistant Becky.
You said it, Assistant Becky, because she definitely like alley-ooped this Dennis vote. I find like it really made me realize like the summit was not in fact the friends we made along the way. Mm-mm. Because Becky Lee pulled in Nick or Dusty. Right. It was Nick. I think it was Nick. Yeah. She pulled in Nick. I mean, at the end of the day, they pulled in everybody except for Amy and Pumpkin. Apparently, but she pulled in Nick, she pulled in Rob to pull off this blind side, and I do think she was a big factor in
she was.
Jeff went home.
And oh my God, I don't know. We might as well go there. The fact that for 2 days in a row they've been gunning for Jeff. Mm-hmm. He's too likable. We get to the mountain, he's going to be able to take our money. Y'all don't even know what's going on at the top of the mountain. What are we so afraid of? Mm-hmm. I legit, Tim, cannot understand. So somebody going to have to come on, somebody from the show. I don't know what y'all's NDAs and everything is telling y'all, but if y'all can't, we need somebody to get on here and explain to me how Jeff being a great leader that's getting y'all to checkpoints on time, or he took a shortcut and got y'all to the camp. He made the executive decision to get y'all to the camp so y'all can have food and shelter. Like, he's doing great with leading y'all, making sure nobody's falling behind, boosting morale along the way.
Carrying bags.
Like, how, and Amy said it too, it's too early. Like, why are we making this decision? It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. He's never slowed you down. He's going to make it up the summit. We know that. Why wouldn't you want somebody like that there? Oh, but you do. Because Nick is not a target. He's physically capable. Dusty is very much fit. He said it multiple times, I know I can get up the mountain. It's not even a worry to me.
He not volunteering for nothing. Him nor Nick. Amy was the one who volunteered to pull up them ropes.
Y'all
so you got rid of somebody, okay? You got rid of somebody who was actively trying to help the group. Because I didn't hear, we heard the clip. Everybody was a witness to it. It was either Nick or Dusty. I feel like it was Nick, I think, who was like, no, y'all good, y'all got it. And it's like,
oh no, good, grab the rope, grab the whatever.
Like, it's like no shade. It's like no shade. Y'all don't want Theron to take it. Theron is afraid of heights.
Bless his heart.
And I love Theron. He made it though. He made it. That's important. And I love Theron, but it's like you have other people who are like so capable of like pulling a lot of the weight on the team in an active way. That's the difference for me, the active part, for sure.
Yeah. And it's just, and I'm, Becky keep bringing up like, oh, those girls, we can do stuff too. I'm all for it. Go take charge. But Becky, I mean, she did volunteer to go get that bag with Rob and Nick and all, but I didn't really see you jump up to go carry nothing up the pulley thing with the pulley stuff either.
That bag ain't heavy. That bag ain't heavy.
Screaming.
It didn't take 3 people to get that bag.
It didn't.
What was in the bag? A note. Seriously, I'm thinking.
And they all 3 carrying it like it's an ice chest.
Like, I'll see if it was the axe. Okay, yeah, that's going to be heavy. But all the note said was like, okay, send 2 people on the helicopter.
Literally.
Versus a rope on a ladder. But y'all, I think it's time to get to what we've been not wanting to get to.
I'm crushed.
Let me take a deep sigh. Let me meditate. Let me be like, I'm forgetting her name, so I'm gonna just call her Cat Lady for the moment. Let me be like Cat Lady, let me get my stuff together before I start like whoop, 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 whoop,
that's the other G. Her name is spelled like Jeannie. Is that her name? Jeannie? Jean? I don't know. Cat Lady.
Cat Lady. Meow tie. So first episode, I'm like, that's why she's wearing the cat ears now. It like makes sense because at first I was like, okay, like
take them down cat things off.
So yes, here comes the heartbreak moment. You ready?
Nope.
People don't know this, but I can cry on command.
The money would mean a lot to me.
We already talked about Dennis before, but here it comes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 votes. Jeff, your time on this mountain has come to an end.
He said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna add 9. Because 9, let me show you who 9 is. You can't see 9 is Manu Bennett himself.
He is such an instigator. He is such an instigator. Yes.
Listen, I know he's doing his job, but it's like you could have been like, okay, it's 8 votes. It's a twist. Jeff, you're actually safe.
I legit thought he was gonna say something. I don't know what I thought he was gonna say, but I needed to be a twist. I thought about this last night. There needs to be a twist that the Mountain Keeper comes when they start slowing down, because they will slow down eventually. And I hope it's Pumpkin or Amy that gets this choice where the Mountain Keeper gets where it allows you to take somebody out the game to replace them with somebody who has been taken out. And
now that
wouldn't that be cool?
That would be crazy in a good way. That would devour actually. That would
Because I would snatch that money so far out of Dennis' hand, I don't even care.
Okay, with the quickness. But the one thing from this vote off, of course, we see Jeff go home. Did not want to see Jeff go home. I'm gonna say it a million times. I think it was too early, if at all, it should have happened. But I again want to shout out Pumpkin and Amy
Yes.
for sticking beside him and trying their best to make sure that Jeff stays. Because to me, it just made sense.
Yeah.
It just made sense. At
Darren,
least for
we
a
need a
couple rounds.
conversation. We gotta have a conversation, brother, because what was going on? What happened? I thought we was down. Like Brandy, I thought we wanted to be down. What happened? And Pat, I don't know why Patty, I love you, girl, but I'm not understanding, boo. Why are we voting with the other folks?
And Jeannie was like, let's get into that now. Jeannie's reasoning, Jeannie was like, okay, like you voted for Amy and Patty to take the helicopter.
I just thought that was very selfish of y'all. They left a bad taste in your mouth. Come again?
Wasn't it a majority of people who did this vote in the first place? Like,
literally,
it's what 5 other people who also did that, but I'm the person who's gonna take the heat for it, and you're gonna vote for me because of that?
Yeah,
because I wanted food on this mountain.
And then she gets to talking about some. Well, I just haven't really had conversation with Pumpkin or Jeff. Oh, so they're the only ones you ain't talked to?
Oh. Listen, you said it, not me.
I'm just going to call a spade a spade. It just, you know, it's the fact that, again, there's 4 other very much athletic and physically capable people in this game that are physical threats. And I'm just trying to figure out why we landed on Jeff. But if these reality TV games haven't taught us anything, Black men, you really have to just sit yourself in the background. You can't do nothing. You don't open your mouth. Be nice when you can, but don't take the map. Don't take no idol. Don't take no keys. Don't pick up no papers. Don't do nothing. Speak when spoken to.
No
don't volunteer anything.
Smiling nod, smiling wave.
Smiling wave. All this man was trying to get y'all to the summit. He wasn't even conspiring against nobody. He ain't never had no target to put on nobody. He was just playing the game.
Do we feel like Jeff could have done anything different? I know hindsight is always 20/20, but I honestly don't think so because, like, okay, sure, you're being out there, you're being a big presence, you're being social, but like, you're also making up for it by like helping in the challenges, and I think that's such a big asset that you would want to showcase. Like, you know, they always say that, you know, Icarus flying too close to the sun, but like in this game, you want to be able to fly, and Jeff to me was flying. He was going to fly everybody right to the summit.
Straight to the summit. And that's why I hope only 4 of y'all make it. Because I love Amy and Pumpkin because they stuck with my boy Jeff, and just because I personally met Patty and Darren, even though those votes, y'all, I'm looking at y'all. But those are the only 4 I would like to see at the end. Because Rob, I'm sorry, that was a beautiful story. I understand people, you know, looking at you differently, expecting you to be somebody that you're not. But you're going to vote with the people that are stereotypical.
Child,
you know, spineless. Jeannie, sycophants. I just can't. I can't play the game with jellyfish backbone at people.
Yeah. Listen, this episode was snakes and ladders, but we're gonna see if this next episode that we get in on Wednesday is gonna take us further, you know, up this summit, up this mountain. We're gonna see how things shake up. Who knows? It might be an avalanche after Jeff is voted out. So we'll see where these players end up and what happens.
Because here's the thing too. Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
Oh no, you good.
When Amy was campaigning, I was like, yes, Amy, come on, campaign. Like she was like, let's get Rob. Like we needed Rob. So it was 8-3. First of all, it shouldn't have even been. It should have been closer than that because Dusty, where you at?
He said it himself. He was like, he didn't want to vote Jeff. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I heard.
You voted for him though. That's your boy. Like y'all so like this. I never would have expected Dusty to fold. So that's four that should have been there. Then 5, Rob. You had no reason to, you the main one talk about morale this, morale that. Let's keep the energy. Let's keep this. Jeff is doing such a great job with leading us X, Y, and Z. Why are we getting rid of him? If he's doing such a great job and you need this. So that's 5 votes that he should have had. And then Cat Lady, Meow Time, she close with Rob. So if Rob would have stuck to his guns and what he knew to be right, that's 6 votes right there. So we have a tie vote. What happens in a tie vote? We don't know.
Child, who knows?
And then one of them could have strong-armed old girl and just be like, get yourself together, get over here because you're gonna be or at Patty. Like, Amy, come on, Patty, girl. Like, don't let us, these people will pick us off. Don't do that. So if they could have just pulled Patty, that's 7 votes to the 5 by Dennis. It does us no good because Amy even told them, if up Jeff, if we don't hold strong, they're going to just be able to pick us off when they want to because they'll have the numbers because it's a number. Everybody's figuring this out now. So it's going to come back to bite them. And I think, Jeff, they're going to get sick of you. Becky Lee, assistant Becky with the good hair, already don't care for you. So what's stopping you from being next? And you're going to be looking like a fool when you get up to the next checkpoint and you going home.
All I can say is if Amy get eliminated next in any way, I'm putting on my hiking boots and I'm going to New Zealand personally.
Like they still there.
And like they still there. And we're gonna talk, everybody. I'm gonna be the mountains watcher instead of the
we're going to Aotearoa, whatever how you say it. We going up there. I'm gonna
put on my Australian accent, sound like that was horrible. And I'm gonna be Marley Denton up in there. I'm gonna be like, that's my seat, get up.
No, for real. I would have tossed my money in the fire if I'm Jeff. Forget this. Y'all pick. I would have took it out. Y'all pick it up.
Yeah, listen. At that point, I'm throwing it off of the mountain. It's like you got to go back if you want it.
Facts. Hard vote. Hard vote
for sure. But listen, I'm gonna be watching. We're gonna be watching. We're gonna be here next time. We're gonna talk about it. But before that, I gotta, of course, thank you, Eric, as always, for being this amazing co-host for these episode 2 and 3 recap of the summit. Eric, go ahead, let everybody know where they can find everything that you do.
Gotcha. Again, thank you as always for having me here. I am thoroughly enjoying. I can't talk. Enjoying co-hosting this. It has been a blast. But for those listening and watching, I am also a part of A Who All Gonna Be There podcast, which you can find on YouTube at A Who All Gonna Be There podcast. And we're on Twitter at A Who All There. And of course, my personal YouTube channel where I talk about things like Agatha All Alone, X-Men, Superman, stuff like that. All DC, Marvel, anything, anime, cartoons. You can find that at The Ear Chronicles. Ear as in the ear that you hear with, and Chronicles. So The Ear Chronicles.
Period. And I've been watching Agatha All Along too, so y'all better tap into that.
Yes.
But I, of course, just want to thank you again and give a big shout out to Silent Podcast, which is also where you can find this in collaboration with A Who All Gonna Be There podcast. But me personally, you can find me on Instagram at TimSgramB, on Twitter at He Watches Shows. And then, of course, you can find me talking about the show Survivor on my podcast, Still the Bacon, which you can also find on Instagram. But for the meantime, for the meantime, y'all didn't put us on our Bivy Brink when it came to voting out Jeff.
Oh, we at the brink.
We are at the brink.
Shoot.
The precipice. But we will see y'all in the next one. And thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.